Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're navigating the really fascinating and complex world of language in India. We're specifically zeroing in on the dynamic between Tamil and Hindi.
Right.
So maybe you're prepping for a conversation or just trying to get a handle on some, important cultural undercurrents.
Or maybe just curious about this part of the world. It's a compelling topic.
Exactly. And we're going to try and unpack this for you, make it insightful, but hopefully not too overwhelming.
And for this exploration, our main source is excerpts from a podcast script. It's titled Tamil Nadu versus Hindi, a battle for survival.
Okay.
So that gives us a pretty solid base for understanding the key issues involved here.
Right. So our mission today is quite focused. We want to pull out the most important insights from that script.
Yeah.
To really get the core of this Tamil Nadu Hindi language relationship.
We'll be looking at the history, the cultural significance,
and the perspectives that are still relevant today. Okay, ready to dive in.
Let's do it. So first off, India's linguistic landscape, it's truly remarkable.
So many languages.
Exactly. A nation just brimming with languages, each tied to distinct cultures, distinct histories. And it's important context here. Hindi is spoken widely across many northern states.
Okay.
But Tamil, that holds a really central, deeply significant place, primarily in the southern state, Tamil Nadu.
And this is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? Because in Tamil Nadu, there's this very strong feeling.
Deeply felt, yeah.
That their language isn't just one of the languages. It's seen as ancient, special, uniquely valuable.
That's right. And the source material highlights a real sentiment there, a feeling that there's pressure on them to adopt Hindi.
Pressure. How does the source describe that feeling?
Well, it uses quite a powerful analogy, actually. It compares it to asking someone to just forget their mother tongue.
Wow.
Yeah, so that really underlines the deep emotional connection people have to their language and the potential sense of loss or imposition when another language seems to be getting priority.
And I imagine this feeling, this tension, it didn't just appear out of nowhere.
Not at all.
The source mentions, going back to the 1960s, significant protests.
Yes, absolutely. The 1960s were a key period. There were large, very vocal protests in Tamil Nadu aimed squarely at the promotion of Hindi.
So what was driving that? What was the core fear?
The fear, connecting it back, was really quite tangible. People worried that Hindi would effectively replace Tamil.
Was it where?
In crucial areas like education and government administration.
Ah, okay. So not just about liking one language more.
No, it went much deeper. It touched on, access to jobs, to opportunities, and the potential loss of their cultural identity itself. Think about it, the language in schools. That directly impacts learning, language in government. That affects who can participate, who has a voice.
And within this context, the source brings up a specific story, doesn't it? Shinasami.
Yes. A very powerful and tragic story.
He was a young man involved in the protests.
That's right. He tragically died by self-immolation during those protests. The source presents him as a potent symbol.
A symbol of what, exactly?
A symbol of that deep commitment to the Tamil language, of love for the language. His act, though extreme, really highlighted the intense depth of feeling. The feeling that the very essence of Tamil identity was under threat.
And that still resonates.
It does. It serves as a kind of historical marker for just how intense this issue was, and in many ways, still is.
So fast forwarding to today.
Yeah.
What are the attitudes now in Tamil Nadu, according to the script? Is it simply, anti-Hindi?
The source actually clarifies that. It suggests the main desire isn't really opposition to Hindi itself.
Okay. So what is it then?
It's more a strong demand for respect for their own language, for Tamil.
Oh, wow.
People want the freedom, the right to speak and learn and conduct their lives in Tamil without feeling Hindi is being forced on them.
So it's about choice, not opposition.
Exactly. And crucially, it's tied to wanting equal status, equal treatment for all the languages across India. Linguistic equality, you could say.
That makes sense. It's about preserving identity, ensuring their language is valued alongside others. The podcast script also had that small anecdote from a teacher in Chennai.
Ah, yes. That was quite revealing. It really grounds these bigger ideas.
What happened?
The teacher basically said when they taught in Tamil, the students were right there with them. Engaged, understanding, smiles even.
Okay.
But when Hindi was used for instruction, confusion, disconnection, the same students just looked lost.
And that shows?
It just vividly illustrates that deep, almost intuitive link between language, culture, belonging, and just learning itself, how tied language is to identity.
Yeah, that's a very clear example. So if we were to sum up the core takeaways from this deep dive based on the source material, what would they be?
Okay, well, first, there's a clear historical context. These tensions around language aren't new, fueled by fears of imposition going back decades.
Right, the 60s protests.
Second, the deep, deep cultural significance of Tamil. It's intrinsically linked to Tamil identity, something symbolized by figures like Chinnasamy.
Yeah.
Third, the present-day perspective seems centered on wanting respect and equality. Not necessarily rejecting Hindi, but demanding the space and autonomy for Tamil. Equal treatment for all Indian languages is key.
It really does shine a light on the complexities, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Managing linguistic diversity within one country.
Absolutely.
And understanding these kinds of dynamics feels, well, increasingly important in our connected world.
It really does. And maybe that leads to a final thought, something for you, the listener, to mull over.
Okay.
Given this profound link between language and identity that our source material highlights so clearly, what do you think are the broader implications? I mean, what are the ripple effects of language policies, especially in societies where many languages coexist?
That's a really interesting question to ponder. What happens when policy meets identity in such a direct way? Something definitely worth thinking about.